Hey, it's me again.
Hey you, did you know he's coming back?
And I wanted to tell everybody about a dream I had. And it's kind of weird because I don't typically remember dreams. But this one, I believe, is a real dream. It wasn't like the last one where it was more like a vision. This was a dream, but it meant something because whenever I have a dream, typically I don't remember them. And at the end of the dream, it was as if I was telling myself I need to remember, or somebody said I need to remember this. So as usual, I wake up and I don't remember the dream. But later that day, it was just like my memory was jarred, and I was with my wife and I was telling her. Then I finally told her about this dream. So here's what the dream was. I was in a farmhouse. It's not exactly the same one I'm in now, but I was in a farmhouse, and my kids were actually young. Like my son was like 6 years old or something. And we were looking out, and for some reason, I got this space aerial view of what looked like a Christmas tree falling towards the earth in space. But it wasn't really a tree. It was like a bunch of meteors that were on fire, or lights or something, that were all in a shape of a Christmas tree, kind of like a pointed object. I'll try to put something on the screen to show you what I'm talking about. But it was going towards the earth, and I got a side view of it for some reason. And then the next thing I know, I'm in this farmhouse with my kids, and I'm looking up at the sky, and it was during the day. It wasn't even in the evening, but you could see this shape like a Christmas tree, but it wasn't really the side view of it. It would be as if you were looking from the top of the Christmas tree, and all these lights were, making a pattern, but it was more like fire. It wasn't lights, but that's kind of what it looked like from the ground. And I'm watching this thing coming towards us, and I know this isn't good. I know that it's some kind of, like, maybe a meteor or something coming towards the earth, something that had a lot of little pieces to it, and it was like, in a shape. So I'm looking out, and I'm asking my son, can you see it? Can you see this? Well, he's only 6 years old, and he's looking out on the horizon, and he never really looks up. You're pointing, but he never really looked up at what I'm talking about. Every time I look at him saying, can you see it? He's looking intently, but he's not seeing it. And he's looking out on the horizon. So I continue asking him if he sees it, and he just never gets it. And when I look out, I can still see this thing falling into the atmosphere of the earth, but I look over and I see this stuff like falling and hitting the earth. It was so powerful that I could feel it when it hit the earth, and it was far away. And when I saw what it was doing, it hit the earth and it had this huge shock wave. And I kept looking into this shock wave as it's coming towards us, and it was clear. What I could see was clear, but it was like a flame that was coming off of if you've ever seen lighter fluid, it's like a blue flame, and it's almost completely clear except you could see the flame at the top. That's what this shockwave was like fire, but it was coming towards you, and you could see through it, but you could still see it. And it's coming at me, and it's coming at us, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with my kids, because I did have a basement in this place that I knew I had a basement, and I was struggling so hard to get my kids to get down into this basement. And then as this thing got closer and closer, I woke up, and I actually didn't really wake up. The dream ended, and it was like somebody told me to remember it. So, I'm fast asleep and went off into oblivion. I don't remember if there were any other dreams or anything after that. That's the only dream I remember. And this was 2 nights ago. And so I didn't quite understand until the next day when I was talking to my wife about it. And I was telling her about this dream. and then God gave me the idea of what it meant. And this is what I believe the dream meant. The interpretation is that God is intently trying to show everybody on the earth what is coming, and they're not paying attention, and they can't see it. And it's because they're immature. They're little kids. They're like my son was. He was very small, and you know how kids are. They're trying, but they don't actually get it. And that's really what the interpretation that was given in my heart to me as I was telling my wife. So I told myself, when I got this dream back in my mind, I could remember all of it, which is very unusual for me. I don't typically remember anything that I dream about, if I even dream. I knew that I needed to share that, so this is the reason why I'm sharing it with everybody. It may not mean anything, but I'm assuming it was like a meteor of some sort that had broken up and was falling into the atmosphere, and it made that shape. So God bless all of you. I hope it blesses somebody. Hope it doesn't scare everybody, but it is kind of like, you know, what's going on today. You're trying so hard to tell everybody that the Lord is coming soon, and they're just not looking or not paying attention or too immature to get it. So hopefully that'll help somebody out there. God bless you.
Coming back for those who love him, to take them home to paradise.